Hello and welcome to F125 Career Mode. This is part 0. I'm going to go through a showcase of what's to come. This is going to be a heavily modded series that is going to be coming over the next few months or so. How long it's going to be, because I don't know. But we're going to go through a few things and show you some stuff. With this being heavily modded, a lot of stuff has changed from the base game. Like, basically none of the original official liveries are in the game anymore. All these are heavily detailed mods that I will link in the description for the credits due to the people who made them, because they made some amazing mods, and go check them out. And also there is a new engine mod which I've modded into the game, which I call the V6 Evo Engine, which will be a showcase at the end of the video to see the new sound of it, because it sounds absolutely amazing. Sounds way better than the official in-game audio of the engines. So obviously the main question is, which team am I going to go with? I've won the F2 Championship obviously last time out in Abu Dhabi, but now as an F2 champion, who do I sign with? I've got many options I can go with. I could go with potentially, a higher team, but I don't want to do that. I feel like that's a little too easy. I've had in my mind, had a look around. With a very bold choice, I'm going to go with Williams Racing, which I think is a good team to start on, really, because it's an underrated team, but also it's obviously in real life it's coming from a massive resurgence from the past 7-8 years being at the back of the grids to now come in as a good midfield car. And I feel like this is the perfect time, as you see from the livery, kind of persuaded me a bit, but it's definitely the perfect time to join Williams. As everyone I see on YouTube, if going with like racing balls or something, I don't want to follow that. I'm going to go a different route and go with Williams. Obviously this year's championship, we're going to go with 16 races, because I feel like 24 is way too long and 10 is way too short. So I feel like 16 is a great middle ground to go between. So obviously we're going from Austria to Japan to Bahrain to Imola to then to Monaco to Canada, Austria, Silverstone, then going to Belgium to Hungary, Zandvoort, Monza, then heading back over to Asia and Singapore, then going all the way to America in Austin, then Brazil, and then the finale Abu Dhabi, which obviously we had in F2. And I feel like with obviously the recent in real life things that are happening right now with the three-way title fight between Norris, Piastri and Verstappen, I feel like we just have to do it for this season to see actually what happens over the course of the season. But it's going to be a really interesting dynamic. Obviously each season the calendar will change. That's not going to stay how it is for all the seasons, so it's going to keep changing continuously, which again is a good thing for the game. So every year it's going to be different, but I'm really happy with this first calendar. Nevertheless, I'm going to go through some of the teams to show you what's to come in this series of season 1. So we see McLaren have gone for a really different livery, as from obviously the original 2025 livery. They've gone with the orange and black. They've gone back to their heritage of a bit of chrome, black and orange trim, which I quite like, and obviously retaining both their drivers, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, which will be definitely a very strong lineup in their title defense, obviously being the Constructors Champions in 2024, and obviously they want to try and bring another good season, possibly a good car under them. Now next is Red Bull. They have had a big shift and a big change. They have now changed their engine manufacturer and partnered with Ford, so now they've gone for a massive change in their livery. You see the Ford sponsorship logos on the engine cover, etc., and a nice kind of boost of blue on the car. And obviously they've got Max Verstappen and Yuki Tsunoda in his debut year for Red Bull, which would be really interesting to see how they get on with this new Ford engine, with the V6 Evo engines coming this year. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they develop with this new partnership with Ford. See, now Ferrari's had a massive shift. Obviously the livery from real life has had a massive change. Obviously there was too much blue and it was a bit of a mess in real life. So obviously this mod limits it down to a lot more of a sleeker, simple design, which I really like. Gets rid of that blue, a lot more of the red as well, and a bit of white and black, which I think is really clean. And they have actually obviously kept Charles Leclerc, and they have signed Carlos Sainz to Ferrari, which I cannot script, because obviously you would know in real life that Carlos Sainz got replaced by Ferrari for the 2025 season. But obviously now in game, he has now come back into Ferrari, replacing Lewis Hamilton. It's like the game doesn't want Hamilton to have the PTSD being at Ferrari. So now Hamilton is a free agent. The 7-time world champion is now a free agent. He's not retired, he just doesn't have a seat. So potentially we might see him maybe midway through the season. Someone might snatch him, because there's no way Lewis Hamilton doesn't have a seat for the year. And I generally could not script this. I haven't modded. It's just how the game works. I literally have no words, but again, this is incredible. Now, Mercedes need no introduction, as obviously they are a well-established team in Formula 1, but obviously they keep PETRONAS as their main sponsor. I see a dashing, glistening new livery with a lot of silver and a lot of the PETRONAS blue on the car, which I really dig, and it's very, very nice. They keep George Russell and sign rookie Kimi Antonelli, who obviously we fought for the championship in the F2 season last year. So that'll be really interesting to see how he gets on with the pressure and how he develops with the car and etc. in his debut year as a rookie, because he's got a lot of pressure and obviously expectation on him. So it'll be really interesting to see how he gets on. And I just to note, I love the mods for this race suit for this year because they look really clean, way better than the one from this year. And I feel like the livery definitely stands out as well. So it's gonna be one hard not to miss. Now next is Aston Martin. Obviously you can see a massive change already in obviously the Honda logos, as Red Bull left Honda to go partner with Ford. It's now interesting to see that Honda have now collaborated and joined forces with Aston Martin to be their engine supplier and obviously to help them out during their season. It could be a really interesting partnership to see how they get on. Obviously we see with the Honda white on the car, which I think looks stunning, with the Aston Martin green, which I feel like really stands out. And they've had a big switch. They've kept the absolute veteran Fernando Alonso on the team, and now they've signed a surprise rookie Paul Aron to the team, the young Estonian driver to Aston Martin, kicking out Stroll from the team to have a young Estonian driver, which was in the top 10 of the F2 Championship last year, but one I did not expect to be signed. So that's definitely a new rookie to keep an eye on, but see how he gets on, because obviously I'm actually really curious to hear how Aaron gets on, because this is a good partnership. Now moving on to Alpine, they have gone with a very different design over the last few years. They've gone back to the heritage of the prime Renault of 2002 to 2006 livery, obviously with a very vibrant blue and yellow livery, which you will not miss at all. And I actually love this livery. It looks absolutely amazing, bring back that kind of heritage and nostalgia for me, which I really do like. They've signed Franco Colapinto. Obviously he was in the F2 Championship last year as well, so we've got a lot of people coming through from last year, which will be interesting to see all these new rookies. And obviously they've got Pierre Gasly, who's now basically like a veteran in the championship, so we'll see how these two will get on together. Now next is HAAS. This one I have kind of a personal favorite with this livery. HAAS have now got a sign with Jagermeister as their official main sponsor, which brings in a special black and orange livery, which is absolutely amazing, which I love. It looks so clean. If they had this in real life, I would absolutely go crazy on this, but this mod is absolutely phenomenal. Go check it in the description again. It's absolutely amazing. Shout out to the guy who made it. It's credits to him, because it's a clean, simple livery. But they have signed Esteban Ocon. Now they brought in Oliver Behrman, our F2 rival for the championship, only being by 1 point to the championship, which again, it's going to be interesting to see how he performs now in a underrated midfield car, to see how he performs and how much of his talent and skill he'll bring to the table of this team. Because again, this is going to be a very clean livery, and obviously me and Ben are going to have we've had issues in F2, we're definitely going to have issues in F1, so it's going to be interesting to fight with this livery and Behrman on track again, but it's a good one to have on screen. Now next is VCarb Racing Bulls Minardi, or however you say it nowadays. I know this is a bit of a surprise, I've kept this as the base livery because it's such a good livery in real life that it's rare to have such a banging good livery that I just want to keep it for the season. It's such a good clean livery and I wanted to keep it. They've signed obviously Liam Lawson and rookie Isaac Hadjar, who was battling quite a fair bit last year, not as much, but again a rookie coming from F2 into this season. A main thing you probably spot is they actually are staying with the Honda power unit, so they're not moving with Ford with Red Bull. They're staying with the Honda power unit, which is going to be interesting to see the difference in teams and performance. See, is Honda better or is the Ford the beneficiary with signing with Red Bull? It's going to be interesting to see this year, obviously with the V6 Evos, Honda, Ford, Ferrari, Renault, etc. It's going to be interesting. Now Williams, they have an amazing historic livery, which I'm sure you'll notice from the colours being from Gulf Oil, which is definitely again a very iconic colour combination, which is going to be really interesting to see. I think it looks absolutely stunning. I think it fits so well. If they had this in real life, it'd be probably one of the best liveries of the year or of recent. This thing is absolutely beautiful. It looks absolutely amazing. Those iconic Gulf colours just match so well. Obviously we've signed with Williams, so that's myself alongside Alex Albon, which is interesting because obviously Carlos Sainz has moved basically from Williams to Ferrari, which is definitely interesting. A livery that I'm really excited to use because this thing looks stunning. And now finally, the final livery is Sauber. Obviously in real life it's their final year, and I want to keep them in for their final year in F1 because it's a very historic team with over 30 years of experience, and I want to give them a proper send-off and it's not shoved to the side. It may not look modded, but the skin has had some altercations from what is from in-game to look more realistic. So I actually do like the base green and the black. I feel like it's definitely a nice different color palette to the grid. But they have signed Nico Hulkenberg, the very experienced veteran, and Gabriel Bortoleto, our former F2 teammate, who we've had many issues with despite being in the same team. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he develops with this Sauber car, because obviously it's going to be underperforming, it's going to struggle. So how's he going to benefit from that? But this is the full grid of the cars you're going to see for this first season, and I'm really excited. I'm really happy with how it's kind of turned out, and the mods I'm using. It's going to be super good. It's going to be super exciting, and I can't wait to show you. But I hope you guys enjoyed that showcase. And again, I'm really excited to see how the season goes. Obviously, for my first season, it's going to be super interesting how it goes. I think it's going to be an amazing season because it's heavily modded and I can't wait. But I hope you guys have enjoyed and hope you have a blessed day. Here is now the video of the official sound of the V6 Evos, which I modded into the game. Link is in the description. It's amazing. Check it out.